What is a supercar? Let's debate. Well, by definition, it's loosely defined as a high-performance sports car that's street legal. When the average person thinks about supercars, they think about your Lamborghinis, they think about Ferraris, they think about Bugattis, McLarens, and so forth and so on. But what you need to know is that exotic cars doesn't always mean supercar. So don't get them confused, mixed up, or even think they're the same. So by definition, exotic simply means originating or in a characteristic of a distant foreign country. So that alone can't make a supercar. But there are a few qualifications, I'm gonna say loose qualifications, that can get a car into the conversation of being supercar. But I will tell you this, if you think that having a mid-engine is that alone, then I'm sad to say you're wrong about that one. That's because Ferrari has several cars that I think meet the supercar qualifications, but they've got a front engine. Now, I wanted to bring this topic to you guys today because, it's been debated on many spectrums, such as, all of the Corvette forums and car forums, as well as the groups out there. So I thought that a great debate would be good for us. And to get that conversation started on, is the C8 a supercar, things that must be. Now, these are must-haves in the supercar conversation. It must be factory built, it must be unmodified, and it must be street legal. And I think the C8 checks all those boxes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm a C8 owner, so I can say it checks the boxes. And things that are loosely placed in that category are speed, unique design, and performance. And by my experience, that's a check, and check for the C8. I believe the C8 has the style of what we could consider a supercar. I think the handling, the performance, and what some don't know that people look into is the power to weight ratio in supercars as well. And you can't forget about rarity. It's hard to even get a C8 right now. You see them out there, and the ones you're seeing pop up now have been ordered almost 2 years ago. That's got to be pretty rare. Oh, and I forgot. Price is another one. Now that's where it can become all questionable for the C8 Corvette, with it starting around $63,000 for the current year that's out being produced right now. So we got a problem, C8 owners. It's the price, because everything about a supercar should be super, and that's including the price. And it's not a super price because GM said we want to make this affordable for the everyday owner. So most of us know that the Corvette has been known to be an American muscle car. It's been a top tier of GM ever since I can remember. But I think with the new design, the new performance, and handling capabilities, it stepped into the supercar realm, at least for conversation and discussion. But, my personal opinion, whether you call it biased or not, I think it is a supercar. But what I wanted to do was point these things out for non-Corvette owners of Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and Bugattis and all that. So to let you guys know that, hey, there's a new supercar in the supercar world, and its name is C8 Corvette. So with the C8 hitting the design mark, it's quick with the 0 to 60 going anywhere between 2.7 to 2.9, 0 to 60, the top speed, like all of these things are simply qualifying factors for the C8 Corvette. And it's not a car that you can just go and pick up off the dealership lot right now. You go to a dealership lot to try to get a new one. It's rare you would find a brand new one at the dealer's lot. You're going to definitely pay a dealer markup fee. And if you find a used one, you're going to pay a dealer markup fee. So I've seen them selling from anywhere between $90,000 all the way up to $120,000. And those have been the reasonable ones I've seen. I've seen some ones that are way out there, 150, 170, but not really talking about those. But you're not going to just go to a lot and say, hey, I want a C8 Corvette. Let me see what you got on the lot. And as I was saying before, you can't just use the word exotic to deem a car a supercar, because the C8 to any other country would be an exotic car because it's imported in. So something exotic is basically classified to have characteristics or to come from another country. So you can't use the word exotic as the classification. So like people that are getting the C8 in Australia, it's an exotic car to them. And I'll tell you from personal experience, the C8 is a car that people look at all the time. It turns heads every day, all day. Anytime I'm driving it, people want to talk about it. They want to sit in it, look in the inside, look at the engine. Just think about this. Okay, if the C8 had no emblems on it or whatsoever, didn't have the Stingray on it, didn't have Corvette on it, or the front emblems, and you seen that car, would you assume or would you think that it's an exotic, not exotic, supercar? And myself, before I even became an owner of my C8, I always looked at it in double and triple take just to find out and to see what it was, especially when it first hit the street. I think it can be debated about the C8, being a supercar. I think it goes to those personnel doing the debating, what their characteristics are. But from the characteristics set forth on many different terms and definitions of exotic car, even though they're loosely out there, I think that the C8 Corvette checks every box. And then if people still want to continue to debate, I say, hey, I'll just call it America's supercar, and I'm fine with that. But if you're one that's totally bent on the C8 Corvette not being the current C8 Corvette, which is the Stingray, not being a supercar, what would you say about the Z06 that's on the way? Now, that's a definite yes for me. There's no ifs, ands, or buts or debating if the Z06 is going to be classified as a supercar. I dare you to challenge me. That Z06 is going to have an amazing flat plane crank engine that's going to be producing 650 horsepower, and it's going to be the highest horsepower producing V8 out of a factory. Tell me again why that wouldn't be considered a supercar. So that's why I said it's no debate when it comes to the Z06, in my opinion. I'll sit here and I'll debate with you about the Stingray, but I still consider that a supercar. So I just think that there would be two types of people that really would not like to classify the C8, as a supercar. And that's probably going to be the owners of Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and so on. And those that just don't want to let the muscle car name go. Because here in America, we know that the muscle car it's a dying breed. Dodge is going electric. Ford is already going electric. So I think those are the two types of people that would be like, you know what? That's not a supercar. The C8 is not a supercar. Corvette's not a supercar. So I think we could find the middle ground. Let's just call it a super muscle car. How about that? Nah, but really, it's a supercar. I appreciate you guys for stopping by for this amazing debate/discussion on whether or not the C8 Corvette is indeed a supercar. I really want you to drop your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know if you think it is or you think it isn't a supercar, but you have to let me know why. Once you drop your answer in the comments. So like I said, from my opinion, going off of the loose definitions of supercars and what forums and not just forums, but online information is giving, the C8 checks the boxes. So there is no discussion in my end. Like I said, I'm willing to debate. I love debating, but it's a supercar at the end of the day, and not just because it's now a mid-engine. Like I said before, that has nothing to do with it. So, guys, I really appreciate you coming by. Until next video, it's your main man, Really Rails. See you later. Peace.